Round 3. To quote the great Malik Scott, you wanted it, you got it. We'll start with Deontay Wilder's 16th professional fight against Reggie Pina. Reggie Pina had a total of 16 bouts. He won 6 of those fights, 1 by knockout. He suffered 10 defeats. 8 of those defeats were by knockout. He had an impressive KO percentage of 6.25. We'll round it to 6%. Another thing of note, he fought primarily in the cruiserweight division. Now let's dive into this resume. Although this wasn't the first knockout of Reggie Pina's career, I decided to start here. Sullivan Barrera. Why am I starting with Sullivan Barrera? Sullivan Barrera fought Reggie Pina in his 3rd professional fight in the cruiserweight division, and he knocked him out. Farrah Ennis knocked out Reggie Pina. And then, I don't want to butcher this man's name, but he knocked him out. Everyone's knocking him out. And I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's obvious Deontay Wilder doesn't mind. Deontay Wilder fought him for his 16th professional fight, and Deontay Wilder TKO'd him in the 1st round. Deontay Wilder, for his 16th fight, fought a man Sullivan Barrera fought in his 3rd fight. And that man had to move up in weight in addition to that. Damn, what a warrior. So much heart, so much character. Deontay Wilder TKO'd him. Then he fought Carlos Negron, and Carlos Negron TKO'd him. And then he fought Isaiah Thomas, and Isaiah Thomas TKO'd him. And then in his last fight, where he was TKO'd in the 1st round, he fought Steve Jeffrod. I couldn't find footage of his fight with Deontay Wilder, but I was able to locate footage of his fight with Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was his 2nd fight after Deontay Wilder. After Deontay, there was Carlos Negron, and then Isaiah Thomas. Here's the footage of his fight with Isaiah Thomas. Tell me, are you impressed?
Que Peña viene hacia el frente. Utiliza muy bien su jab, su recto.
¡Ay, tremendo recto!
Sí,
de izquierda ya al mentón. Y ya Sam Burgos dice, no más. Se quedó viendo pajaritos y estrellitas. Ahí está Peña, que no sabe ni dónde está.
For his 17th professional fight, Deontay Wilder stepped in the ring with Damien Reed. Damien Reed had 74 professional bouts, 48 wins, 32 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He also suffered 20 defeats. 13 of those defeats were by way of knockout. Another thing of note, he fought most of his career at the cruiserweight division. I will begin to dissect this resume at Roman Greenberg. I mean, it's not the first time that Damien Reed was knocked out, but we can't spend time looking through every fight. Now, the reason why this is relevant is because he went on a KO losing streak. Roman Greenberg knocked him out. Monte Barrett knocked him out. Hakeem Rahman knocked him out. He lost a unanimous decision to James Toney. And that's when Deontay Wilder said, "You can't forget about me. You know how much I love leftovers. Put them in the microwave so he can serve up a quick knockout dish for your boy on the resume." And that's what Deontay Wilder did. After being knocked out by Deontay Wilder, he went on to be knocked out several times. This was a man who was used to build and pad a number of resumes. Just look at the stats. Deontay Wilder, his 17th professional fight. Are you impressed? For his 18th professional fight, Deontay Wilder fought Dominique Alexander. Dominique Alexander fought 46 professional bouts. He won 26 of those fights. 13 of those wins came by way of KO. He also suffered 18 defeats. 16 of those defeats came by way of KO. He had a higher percentage of getting knocked out than he did by winning by knockout. Think about that one. Another thing of note is that he fought in the cruiserweight division. Moving on to his resume. Again, I could start a number of places. It wasn't the first time he got knocked out, but I'm going to start here with Vinny Madelone. He was TKO'd. Then he fought Shannon the Cannon Briggs, and he was TKO'd in the first round. Then he fought Cedric Boswell, and he was TKO'd in the second round. And then he fought Tony Grano, and he was TKO'd in the sixth round. And then Deontay Wilder said, "You know I'm the king of the leftovers. If there's any scraps, you give them to this scavenger. People don't like seagulls, but I've modeled my whole career after them. You know me, king of the leftovers. I'm drooling right now. Bring them to me." And they did. And Deontay Wilder knocked him out in the second round. But one thing that's funny is Shannon the Cannon Briggs, at the tail end of his career, was still able to knock this guy out in the first round. And he did it before Deontay Wilder did it. And Deontay Wilder needed 2 rounds. So even at the tail end of his career, Shannon the Cannon Briggs still displayed more IQ and punching power than one Bronze Bomber. Look at him, y'all. Let's go, champ. Now, getting back to the business. After Deontay Wilder TKO'd Dominique Alexander, so did Mark DeMore, Jason Estrada, Tor Hamer, and Amir Mansour KO'd him in the first round. Jeff Page Jr., Al Sands. This man was passed around like a baton through the heavyweight division. He was KO'd in and out. Are you impressed? In his 19th professional fight, Deontay Wilder fought Daniel Cota. Daniel Cota has 29 professional fights, 20 wins, 11 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He suffered 8 defeats. 6 of those defeats came by way of knockout. I know you recognize a pattern. I know you recognize a trend. To quote Deontay Wilder, which is a quote he stole from Lil Wayne, what's understood don't need to be explained. The Bronze Bomber, which is a knockoff of Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. But anyways, let's get back to the business and take attendance of all the people who knocked out this man before Deontay Wilder did. Romario Reducino, Saul Montana. And now, let's get to the business. Deontay Wilder stepped in the ring, and then he knocked him out. Immediately after Deontay Wilder knocked him out, Oscar Rivas stepped in the ring and decided to knock him out too. Simon Keane wanted in on the action. So did Isaac Monez Gutierrez. Yeah, if you don't understand by now, another resume booster. Are you impressed?
Claro que sí, don Alfonso, es un orgullo estar compartiendo micrófonos con ustedes, toda esta gente televidente que nos atraviesa cuando vemos el cruce de derecha,
Te da la impresión que le pegó en la nuca, como una estocada, como si estuviéramos en el toreo.
jab para mantener la distancia a un rival que supera en estatura y alcance, sí, se agacha, corazón el mexicano de azul, Daniel Cota atacando, pero debe tener cuidado al entrar, ahí está una vez más en la lona, y ahora sí no se va a levantar.
Amables amigos, estalló la mano derecha a la nuca. Tengo la certeza, Humberto Soto, la zorrita, Eduardo Camarena, que le pegó en la nuca.
La nuca, ¿verdad? Entre la oreja y la nuca, el golpe muy sólido de parte del norteamericano. Sí le da en la oreja y parte, ¿verdad? Del guante llega al la parte posterior de la cabeza, pero sí el golpe me parece explícito. Ahí lo vemos.
Ahí es el golpe en el puro oído, cuando pierdes el equilibrio. La verdad que Wilber trabajó muy bien sus pasos laterales y conectó con esa mano de derecha un golpe certero.
Por eso, señores y señores, amables amigos de la República Mexicana, aquí tienen a este Deontay Wilder. Todas sus peleas ganadas.
Deontay Wilder's 20th professional fight was against David Long, but I'm going to keep this short. He had 19 bouts, 12 wins, 8 by knockout, 5 defeats. 3 of those defeats came by way of knockout. Okay, I know the question you're asking. Who knocked him out first? Okay, let's answer that question. Mike Miller did. TKO in the first round. It was after that, Deontay Wilder stepped in the ring and knocked him out in the first round. Are you impressed?
See some close-ups, and you can see he's a big old lump. Still an athlete though, Steve, isn't he?
I mean, the crowd are getting behind.
Hey! There's Deontay Wilder, the referee. I like that about him.
This next fight makes me upset. Extremely frustrated. It's hard to even discuss this. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. And if you look at this picture, I can think of 1,000,000. Particularly what I think of is $1 Million Baby. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. I suggest you check it out. Hi, Lucia. Getting back to the business, though. This reminds me of $1 Million Baby because Deontay Wilder really went in the ring and beat up Danger. He beat up Danger. For those of you who don't know who Danger is the guy who hangs around the gym, who has mental disabilities. And everybody knows that guy. It's funny. There's usually a character like that around many gyms. And he hangs around the gyms and everyone knows he's not all the way there. So no one picks on him. In fact, you include that person. You make that person feel like a part of the team because you really like that person. But Deontay Wilder saw danger and wanted to create more danger for Danger. Deontay Wilder went in the ring and knocked out Danger. But for those of you who don't know about Danger, like I said, he was someone who didn't have it all there. But when Anthony Mack's character knocked out Danger, it was Morgan Freeman who stepped in the ring and knocked out Anthony Mack. Now, for those of you who don't know Morgan Freeman's character in $1 Million Baby, Morgan Freeman was the janitor. Yes, that's right. The janitor was a step above Danger. And once Anthony Mack's character stepped up in class from Danger to the janitor, he got knocked out. Deontay Wilder knocked out Danger. A step below a janitor. Are you impressed? Unfortunately, I couldn't find a clip of that fight, and probably for good reason. But still, I want you to see the caliber of opponent that Marlon Hayes is, the man who Deontay Wilder fought in his 21st professional fight. Marlon Hayes, 44 victories. Misread. 44 bouts, 23 victories, 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout. 21 defeats, with 11 of those defeats coming by way of knockout. Of course, Deontay Wilder wasn't the first one to knock him out. He was knocked out in the fight before he stepped in the ring with Deontay Wilder. Then he stepped in the ring with Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder knocked him out. But take a look at this clip and tell me, are you impressed? Deontay Wilder's 22nd professional fight would be against Jesse Oltmanns. He had 18 fights, 12 wins, 7 of them came by way of knockout. He suffered 6 defeats. 5 of those defeats came by way of knockout. His division, cruiserweight, for the majority of his career. Was Deontay Wilder the first to knock him out? No. That honor goes to Jasharian Singh. He TKO'd Deontay Wilder in the first round. And then Joseph Raybot. Does that name ring a bell? He was Deontay Wilder's 4th professional win. You know, the guy who Teddy Atlas said was there to get knocked out on television. Said he lost a fight in the dressing room. Yeah, well, Joseph Raybot was good enough to beat this man. And then, after he knocked out, didn't knock out, but defeated Jesse Oltmanns, that's when Deontay Wilder stepped in the ring and knocked him out in the first round. Immediately after, he was TKO'd by Matt Godfrey, Keith Tapia, and Jesse Barboza. He went on to have 2 more fights, one against Christopher Boykins. As you can see, his record was 1-7 at the time. That was unanimous decision. And then he fought Martez Williamson, who had a record of 3 wins, 18 losses, and 1 draw. Deontay Wilder knocked this man out on the tail end of his career. Tell me, are you impressed?
¿Ya se acabó? ¿Cómo va a ser? No es cierto, no. ¿Por qué la para? ¿Qué le pasa?
For Deontay Wilder's 23rd professional fight, he would face Owen Beck. Owen Beck had 42 professional fights, 29 wins, 20 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He suffered 13 defeats. 10 of those defeats came by way of knockout. And I can't make this up. If you look at his alias, it says, "What the heck?" That's a question. My question is, what the heck was he doing in the ring with Deontay Wilder? Let's find out. He suffered a string of KO defeats, starting with Manuel Charr, TKO in the 10th round. Then Tony Thompson, TKO in the 4th round. Then Alex Leopai, a TKO in the 6th round. Alex Leopai is currently a truck driver. Cedric Boswell, knockout. David Rodriguez, knockout. Arthur Spilka, retired him. Referee technical decision, quitting between rounds. And that's when Deontay Wilder stepped up and said, "I'm the Bronze Bomber. The tail end of his career, there's only one thing left to do. Finish the job." Except Owen Beck did it before Deontay Wilder could. In their fight, Owen Beck retired in the 3rd round. He went on to be TKO'd and eventually retired. Deontay Wilder, are you impressed? Many people believe the heavyweight division is a 3-headed monster, with Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua. Let's compare. What were Deontay Wilder's counterparts doing in their 23rd professional fight? Tyson Fury was having a rematch with Derek Ward Chisora, who at this time was 20 wins, 4 defeats. But before you go saying, "Oh man, Derek Chisora fell off," let's take a look at those 4 defeats. Derek Chisora lost his first fight to Tyson Fury. He lost to Robert Helenius. You know who Robert Helenius is? Ask Adam Kaunowski. He just knocked him out. He then lost to Vitaly Klitschko, one of the premier heavyweights in the division at that time and champion. And then he lost to David Haye. 4 defeats, but losses to 4 quality opponents. 4 guys Deontay Wilder didn't fight. Well, he fought Fury later and we know what happened. But still, Wilder hasn't fought Robert Helenius, never fought Vitaly Klitschko. And we've seen the sparring sessions of him getting destroyed by David Haye. Okay, let's compare him to Joshua. In his 23rd professional fight, Anthony Joshua was defending his heavyweight titles. He was the unified champion. He had won the belt by beating Charles Martin, Vladimir Klitschko, and Joseph Parker. He was defending his titles against Andy Ruiz Jr. in Madison Square Garden in New York when he suffered one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. Andy the Destroyer Ruiz took the titles from Anthony Joshua on that night. He would regain them in an immediate rematch, becoming one of 4 heavyweights to regain the title in an immediate rematch. Those 4 heavyweights being Muhammad Ali, Floyd Patterson, Lennox Lewis, and Anthony Joshua. Were you impressed with Deontay Wilder's first 23 opponents? What would Anthony Joshua's record be if those were his 23 fights instead of the 23 fights he had up until Andy Ruiz? What would Tyson Fury's record be if those were his 23 fights? What would their knockout ratio be? Those are questions to ask yourself. In addition to that, think about what Deontay Wilder's record would be if he fought the same competition as Anthony Joshua, or if he fought the same competition as Tyson Fury. But simply, saying someone is the hardest puncher in boxing history because their KO ratio is starting to seem a bit sketchy, right? In the end, what matters is who you fought. But you saw Deontay Wilder's first 23 opponents. You see the 100% KO ratio. But tell me, are you impressed?